Greetings, Star Wars fans! Whether you're a Boba Fett fan from back in the 90s or you like the new Boba Fett from the recent Book of Boba Fett series, I'm John Edward Lee, and I'm here with a very quick episode of Universe Expanding Books and Toys. This is a quick one because it's really about one character, one figure, and what it comes from. You can see on my shirt, I've got a Cam Kennedy artistic shirt that is from a specific Boba Fett series. Why we're bringing this up is because this figure, which was a Target exclusive, was released and I finally found a version of it. You could see that he's based on a comic book, that the one we're going to talk about, Boba Fett, Death, Lies, and Treachery. That's actually the name of the graphic novel collection of these comics. They had individual titles. Of course, Cam Kennedy did a special piece of art for that graphic novel, which is what they used here, so it actually doesn't appear in the comics. I looked through them. If I missed it, I may have, but his art is very, very, very specific. Cam Kennedy did the art. John Wagner wrote the story. Cam Kennedy, you'll know from the Dark Empire series of comics, he did the art for it, and he has a very specific style of art. So we're just going to go through it. There's just only 3 issues. There's the first one, Bounty on Barracuda. And of course, this is where this art comes from. Like I said, there's a very specific style that Cam Kennedy has, and that's being kind of monochrome. Not completely, but there is a moonshot night Boba Fett cast in that light. Reds and blues are all that you see. His art is very, very like cartoony and comic booky at the same time. I really, really appreciate it. It kind of reminds me of stuff from the same time, Spawn, things like that. The characters have a very cartoony feel to them. The second one in this series was When the Fat Lady Swings, which of course you'll see that great Cam Kennedy art, Boba Fett in his glory. Cam Kennedy was the right person to do the art for this, specifically because Dark Empires, where we first found out Boba Fett still existed, had lived beyond the Sarlacc. I love Book of Boba Fett, but that's the secondary story. The first story is that Boba Fett got out of the Sarlacc pit, very much the same, and then teamed up with Dengar for many years. He breaks his tie with Dengar during Dark Empires. This is after that. I believe so. Where did I get these from? Actually, it's a little bit before that, so he must have broke ties with Dengar a couple times. Anyways, there is his ship, everyone knows, looking all cool, in that same style where they just use very, very, very few colors. I really like that. I don't know why, but this was like the most 90s of 90s comic books, like Swoop Gangs and all sorts of fun stuff. I actually had to put an extra bookmark in here because I've said it many, many times, the reason I love individual comics as opposed to graphic novels is the ads. Here is an ad for a Dark Horse series called The Black Pearl, and you will see that Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker himself, the Joker himself, had a hand in making that comic book. A direct hand, in fact. That was about the same time he was in Wing Commander 3. 3, is that right? Anyways, this was the last of the 3 Murder Most Foul. I mean, it just so oozes Boba Fett. He's got that like slack, like, I don't even care. When I first saw, what's his name, Cobb Vanth in the Boba Fett album, he's got that like look, and I was like, wow, they are referencing some 90s stuff, and they definitely were with that character specifically. I like this one because it has a lot of Boba Fett using his gadgets and sort of the what he sees on his side as he's doing his thing. Here's the deal with Boba Fett. No one wants to hear it, but it's true. Boba Fett is Star Wars Batman. Now, people will think, no, Batman's a good guy. Yeah, Boba Fett is a good guy because he helps the police, the Empire, capture criminals. He also covers his face. He also uses utility belts and gadgets in a world of super-powered beings. He also is who he is, a bounty hunter, because he saw his parent murdered in front of him. So don't tell me that Boba Fett and Batman aren't cut from the same cloth. The big difference is Boba uses guns. Does that make him cooler than Batman? That's debatable. But anyways, this was a great series, really short, came from the 90s. Let's see the exact year. 97, so later than I thought. Dark Empire was like 91, so this is a while afterwards. But of course, a lot of it has to do with the Hutts, and the Hutts in that same almost monochromatic style, Boba Fett looking so stylish. I cannot tell you how happy I am to get this figure. And they've got another one, Boba Fett, from a comic book, which is issue 42 of the original Marvel series, the Empire Strikes Back adaptation, so I'm excited for that. But there he is, the Cam Kennedy, Boba Fett. People are going to collect this, have no idea the legacy that it has, but please do pick it up. Because it is not only a cool figure, but hopefully it'll make you want to read some Boba Fett comic books. And this is not the only series he had. He had lots of series. So anyways, that was a quick universe-expanding books and toys, all about my favorite bad bounty hunter, Boba Fett. Enjoy the rest of your evening and day, weekend, wherever you are in your week. And remember that the Force will be with you, always.